On April 21st, 2011, the Department of Justice created the Oil and Gas Price Fraud Working Group, whose mission it was to, quote, root out manipulation of the oil market and gouging of consumers at the gas pump, unquote. The fraud working group has not found anything, quote, illegal. However, financial speculators who never take delivery of oil make up about 65% of the trading in oil futures markets. Historically, speculation has hovered around 30%, setting a premium on oil even when there is ample supply. Regulators are trying to pass legislation that prevent excessive market speculation, but Wall Street is suing the Commodity Futures Trading Commission to make sure it doesn't get regulated and therefore can rise above 65%. As president, will you allow Wall Street to jack up the price of oil, or will you put pressure on Congress not to bow down again to Wall Street? Why don't we start with Harry?
Well, the reason I'm running for president is I very much oppose this entire Republican system of government, which is run by and for bribery. It's all bribery. We have tens of thousands of lobbyists who bribe all of our elected officials. I don't care which party they're from. And it doesn't matter who you elect, they're going to be bribed as well. You only have to bribe a tiny handful of people in the Congress to get your way. And in other words, a committee chairman can determine if a bill can even come up for a vote in his committee before it ever gets to the floor of either body of the Congress. You only have to bribe a tiny handful of people. And bribery is perfectly legal in our current Republican system of government. Now, a lot of people think we're a democracy. That is a lie. We are not and have never been a democracy in the United States. We have always been a republic. And to think those two concepts are the same is as absurd as thinking black is white. Because a democracy is majority rule, and that's what I'm advocating as a presidential candidate, is the 28th Amendment to the Constitution that will put the majority of citizens in charge of approving anything the Congress does, anything the president does, or anything the judicial branch does that impacts the majority in terms of our laws. The majority of citizens should have the final say on anything that's going to become law. When you make that change and put the people in charge, all of this will change. Every major issue will change because guess what? The majority of citizens will not allow bribery. If you get caught bribing an elected official, you'll go to prison, just like a bank robber would. That's the way we would run it in a real democracy, which we don't have. But we can get it in a constitutional convention that Article 5 of our Constitution allows us to legally do, where we bypass the Congress to pass this amendment.
Okay.
Because the Congress would never do it, obviously.
Okay. So, JL, getting back to the original question, would you allow Wall Street to put this through, that they would keep oil speculation the way it is?
Well, oil speculation, of course, it's legal. What Congress is doing is illegal. That's kind of a fine line. However, at the current state with the nation, we need to declare, the president alone needs to declare this a national security matter. Lock down all the fraud, all the corruption, and basically send every criminal to Gitmo, as far as I'm concerned. That would be the threat. That would be the controlling factor. Once you charge them with sedition, you can seize all of their assets. And they know they don't want to be charged with sedition because they'll lose all their assets. And yes, USC 10 backs me on this. They would fall into step. The corruption would end. The Republic must remain because the Republic is our guarantee of not having corruption committed against us. We don't want a democracy. And that's where I sit on that matter.
Okay, Harry, you have 30 seconds to rebut.
Republican rule is corruption by its very core. It's ruled by the tiny few in secret with lobbyists. That's what a Republican form of government is. That's why North Korea is a republic. It's why Iran is a republic. It's why China is a republic. Every despicable government in the world is a republic because it allows a tiny number of people to rule with money and power. A democracy is majority rule. And there is only one country right now that actually has been operating that way. And my 2 minutes are up, so Judy will have to ask me which country that is
The
if you
Soviet
want to
Union.
know. And by the way, I find it amazing that almost no one I ever asked that question to, including many lawyers, know which country this is, even though it's been successfully working as a democracy for nearly 800 years.
Okay, JL, you have 30 seconds to reply.
The true republic, the idea behind the true republic is that our rights are guaranteed. Obviously, yeah, that's what it's supposed to be, but we know it's not because of the corruption.
Oh, geez.
Because of the corruption, we no longer have a republic. The democracy, the masses could vote away the rights of the few, and that is wrong, but that's what's happening right now, is the democracy is taking over the republic. And our rights are being voted away through the corruption.
Okay.
People buying the votes of the, representatives.